Good evening, America. I am the Big Red One guy, reminding you that together we must break the machine. Well, over the weekend, they brought out a pato to talk to the brothers. That shit didn't work. They brought out a puerco to talk to rural white voters. In particular, both set of voters they wanted were men. That shit didn't work. And then they also brought out a pendejo, okay, to talk to Latinos. Geraldo Rivera was on News Nation. Um, Essentially chastising Latinos for who are going to be voting for Donald Trump. And in his own words, there's an article from Breitbart. Uh, I'll read a little bit to you, and then you can hear it in his own words. He's a fucking pendejo, and he just thinks he's still like top in what do you call it, in the news. Nobody pays attention to this motherfucker. He hasn't been relevant for a very long time. He's had an axe to grind with Donald Trump since he got his ass tossed off the Celebrity Apprentice and he didn't win. He felt he should have won, and ever since that day, he's just been like a little bitch, uh, complaining and fucking riffing about Trump for for years now. Because well, he's a pendejo. So like he got his ass beat on his own show, got his ass beat a couple of times in fucking the streets. He's burned every set of bridges that he's ever had in in media. They got his ass tossed off the five on Fox because he's just a scumbag, and he's a shithead. But he is a what do you call an advocate for open borders. No matter what he says, he's always talking about letting people in. And this issue, he has with Trump is just he's full of shit. So there's an article from Breitbart. It says Geraldo Rivera, no Latinos with any self-respect could vote for absolute racist Trump. It says during an appearance Monday on News Nation's Cuomo, it's another scumbag. Geraldo Rivera said that no Latinos with any self-respect could vote for absolute racist former President Donald Trump. Rivera said he's chosen to become an absolute racist when it comes to speaking of particular Latin undocumented immigrants, comparing them basically to animals. I guess he hasn't been paying attention to fucking current events where you have Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complex, kicking out American citizens from their own fucking homes and brutalizing and terrorizing these people, right? So he's not paying attention to that shit. Those are the people that Trump is talking about. This fucking come mierda is constantly talking out his ass. Because I don't know how any Latino person of any self-esteem, any self-respect would be in favor of the ranting, the poisoning, the blood of the country. Well, I'm gonna play a little bit. There's like a minute, almost 2 minute clip here from News Nation, and he goes on his little rant, but then he gets checked. I have to give it to them.
I suggest to you that I personally will not be voting for Donald Trump because of three reasons. I think his creation of or his destruction of Roe v. Wade and the protections for abortion, the immigration reform bill that he did not embrace. Rather, he has chosen to become an absolute.
All right, let me stop there really quick. All right, first off, okay, Roe v. Wade, that was a Supreme Court judge. That was the Supreme Court who did that. Okay, can you say that Trump had some? I guess he put in the three judges that helped with that. Yep, you can say that absolutely, but it had nothing to do with him. The Republican Party and many on the Democratic side too have been saying for fucking decades that they wanted the argument in abortion to go back to the states. And now that it's back to the states, these same motherfuckers that were crying that he was one of them back in the day too. Okay, this little fucking pendejita acting. Look at him sitting there. He thinks he's fucking Ponce de Leon, sitting in a fucking painting for them to fucking pick his portrait before he takes a trip to the fucking new world. Look at him with his fucking mad scientist mustache. I swear I hate that motherfucker. Anyway, let's keep going. Also the immigration bill, it wasn't an immigration bill. It was gonna still let millions of fucking people come into this country undocumented, unchecked, unvetted. Okay, and these people know that, right? So he's a fucking piece of shit, a come mierda, talking out his ass.
Racist when it comes to speaking of particularly Latin undocumented immigrants, comparing them basically to animals. It's horrifying. I don't know how any Latino person of any self-esteem, any self-respect would be in favor of.
You may not know about it.
He's about to get checked right now.
The ranting, the poisoning the blood of the country.
More Latinos are voting for Donald Trump or polling for Donald Trump now than in 2016 and in 2020. He's on to something. I don't know how Democrats and Kamala Harris supporters think they are going to convince either black men who are leaving Kamala Harris or Latinos who are leaving Kamala Harris by saying, I don't know how you're in your right mind. Isn't it worth examining why these people are leaving Kamala Harris for Donald Trump rather than just telling them they're wrong?
Because he doesn't want to fucking acknowledge, okay, that Latinos were doing way better under Trump. Latino entrepreneurship went through the fucking roof, okay? So a lot of Latinos, American born, first and second generation fucking Latinos who are here legally. Okay, well, second generation, they would be here legal because they were born here. I'm sorry. First and second generation Latinos whose parents came here, okay, and grandparents came here and did it legally. They're tired of this shit. They don't want to see people coming in, taking their fucking jobs that they worked hard for and they did it the right way to get here. All right. So there's a big disconnect with the Marxists. Okay. They don't understand what's going on with Latinos. And it's very simple. Okay. Many Latinos traveled here legally to get into this country. They waited a very, very long time to become American citizens. I know people who it took them 25 fucking years to get their citizenship. Is there a problem with with how people become citizens of the United States with our immigration policies? Yeah, as far as the wait time, what it takes, how long, and stuff like that, there are issues that can absolutely be addressed. All right, but you still have to come here legally, and you still have to fucking do it right.
Oh, I want to be very frank about the fact that I believe that the immigration system and the situation on the border represents the biggest failure of the Democratic administration, of the Biden-Harris administration. They have absolutely dropped the ball when it comes to the southern border and immigration generally. My point is, rather than work together, Donald Trump sought to exacerbate the divisions. He sought to put the two sides.
Okay.
He rejected out of hand the
Donald Trump played
possibility that there
politics.
could be a compromise.
Yeah, so Donald Trump played politics. Exactly that. I mean, what the fuck? You know, these guys are so full of shit, man. You know, guys like Geraldo Rivera are just the scum of the earth. Okay, he this guy. I don't even know what to say about him anymore because there's not much to say, right? He's out here chastising Latinos, okay, for who are getting ready to vote for Trump. Many of us we're doing just so well that we're gonna vote for him, whether you like it or not. Okay, so coming out and trying to chastise a group of people who are supposed to be your group of people, right? But like again, he's an elitist. Okay, he's of fucking Spanish descent. Even though his father's from PR, but they're from Spanish. He's got this Castilian. Look at him. Look at the way he's sitting, right, with his fucking shitty mustache, and he's out there. I'm Ponce de Leon. Look at me. I'm a conquistador and stuff like that. You will listen to me. That's the elitists of old, okay? And this is a guy who is touted to being a Republican and tried to run on a Republican ticket, but he's nothing fucking even near being a conservative. He's an asshole and a fool. He's a come mierda, and he's just full of shit, right? So again, this guy has had an axe to grind with Trump for a very, very long time, okay? Because he got his ass tossed off Celebrity Apprentice. I think he was like the last man standing, and then he ended up losing. He didn't become the Celebrity Apprentice. So that's been his fucking thing, like a pendeja, just whining about Trump since that time. Okay, just like his cliques constantly hurting him and is fucking bleeding all the time. It's just he's just a fucking scumbag, little pussy, man. Anyway, that's enough for my fucking rant. I am the Big Red One guy signing out, and remember that together we must break the machine. God bless you all. God bless America, and I'll see you.